Sir, your predecessor, sir, your predecessor, si General Bato de la Rosa, and even the president, have always had very, very strong words against human rights groups, and even the concept of human rights. I'd like to ask you po, kayo, as a new PNP chief, what is your, how do you view human rights, and how do you view human rights groups? Do you also see them as adversaries? Do you see them as kasi when you listen to the president, when he talks about human rights groups and human rights issues, even during the SONA, he's very combative. Kayo po.
Well, you know what? I once had in my interview, once you arrest a police criminal, a criminal police, you arrest him, put him in jail. Okay? What I'm trying to say here is criminals in the police service are co-equal to the criminals outside of this organization. I want to make out that point because when the human rights basically condemn the police for what they've done immediately, we are already guilty in the eyes of the people. That's what we do not want. That's what the president doesn't want. That's what Senator De La Rosa doesn't want, and that's what I do not want too. I do not want to condemn people even without evidence at all. That's number one. Gusto lang namin sana patas ang laro. Okay? They fight. They how do you call this? They protect criminals. For us, we do not protect criminals. Even in our organization, we cleanse them, we arrest them, we put them in jail. That's what we do, and we hope that it would be the same for us when the human rights advocates would do. We would want to have a fair share of what you call justice. That's all we really want.
Yes, sir.
General, if you don't mind, first I wanted to clarify lang po yung
human rights protects criminals. Isn't that a dangerous statement to make?
Well, I'm not saying that they are protecting criminals. What I'm saying is that they tend to say that these criminals are are innocent, but when you come to policemen, they say that we are already guilty. Tingnan niyo yung mga nahuhuli ko minsan ng mga NPAs, kuminsan they even decide these people where in fact they have a lot of cases already, murder, homicide, etc. Eh yung police po ginagawa lang po yung trabaho. Di ho ba? Nagkamali lang.
But General, if you don't mind, I think what a lot of human rights groups are saying is that everybody should be presumed innocent until proven guilty. You say that you want to be treated fairly in the eyes of the public. But what human rights groups are basically saying is that citizens should be treated fairly. They look at the drug war and they see people not only getting arrested, but getting killed without ever seeing a court, in some cases not knowing what the charges are. It's one thing to argue for equal and fair treatment in public statements and so on. It's another thing for human rights groups to say, yes, but we're talking about the court, we're talking about the legal system, we're talking about rule of law. I'm just a bit confused, as if you're equating the propaganda war that you see ongoing versus the rule of law that human rights groups are trying to emphasize should be applied to all.
What I'm saying, Ed, is this. I want to be clear. First of all, we want to be treated fairly. Fairly, if, as I've said, you catch a policeman who is doing criminal activities, arrest him, put him in jail. Just like us, we are also community. It's not because we're PNP, we're not community, right? We are all community here. We are all members of the community. What we want is that at least protect us also from all the fun, from all the weaknesses of the people that tends to say that we are already guilty. Sana naman, bigyan po naman kami ng right po na maging innocent. Kasi napapansin nyo, kung minsan magkamali pa ang police, sasabihin ho nila kaagad, mali talaga ang police. So they tend to side with a suspect who may have been killed. But sometimes we do not know what really happened in the incident. Ang atin lang po, sabi ko nga sa inyo, everybody should be treated fairly. We treat criminals, whether they be policemen or civilians, the same way as criminals. We treat those who are innocent as innocent people, and we will always protect the poor and the weak. That's all we really want. But what we sometimes see is that uh, paano eh, alam niyo, to be frank with you, I was an activist even before, and I know what's right or wrong. I have also compared it, but there are a lot of imperfections in this world. But basically, yun lang po, gusto lang naming matreat fairly.
No, but if I could further clarify, what we're hearing is that you say in the court of public opinion, you want to be treated fairly. In media, you want to be treated fairly. And I completely agree. I think we completely agree. Everybody deserves to be treated fairly. Media should be more responsible. Citizens should be more circumspect before they post anything. Let's all have an open mind. That's all well and good. But the difference, sir, is that when you are condemned, criticized, even unfairly in the court of public opinion, your liberty is not necessarily at risk. Your life is not necessarily in peril. Ang pinaglalaban po ng mga human rights groups is that not in the court of public opinion, but in our legal system, in our fight for rule of law. Pagka dito may nagkamali, pagka ang pulis nagkamali or nanguna o ng abuso and disregards rule of law, and we're not talking about opinion, we're talking about lives, we're talking about liberty.
Yes, rest assured, Ed, that we will never tolerate the violation of human rights or the violation of the rule of law. Rest assured of that. We are here to serve and protect the community that we are serving.